how are we feeling now? Yeah. Refreshed, re-energized, recentered and ready. Good. All right, so I thought we should talk a little bit more about, so I've called it the mum effect. So a lot of the reason you took action today was someone told you to take action. When you're a child, did you ever, and there'll be some of you in the room who did, but was it most likely you cleaned your room when mum told you to? You got dressed when mum told you to? You, and even, so as a child, what did you as a child want to do? Play. And just want to do what you wanted to do. So I want to wear clothes. I don't want to wear clothes. My kids don't want to wear clothes. What do they want to eat? Cookies. I want cookies. And who did they eat cookies? Or you as a child, did you play all day every day? Did you eat cookies all day every day? And did you not wear clothes all day every day? No, because why? Because mum said, because someone said, that's not going to happen, you are going to have to do this. Something you're going to have to do what? Something you don't want to do. So we are brought up as humans, especially when we're little, just driven by what we want. I wanna. And the only thing that stops us doing what we want is normally a parent. Then what happens? We go to school. What happens when we go to school? The teacher tells us what we can and can't do.
When you can have a break, when you can go to the toilet.
When you can go to the toilet, when you can do anything. Then what happens?
Go to work.
You go to work. And do you go to work and just do what you wanna? No. Georgia wishes. You do what you're told to do, even if you don't feel like calling 100 people or, you know, whatever it is in the job task or the job description, you just do what you need to do. So how are we feeling around freedom and what we want to do when our whole life we've been told what we have to do? How do we feel then? So we turn into adults and finally we can have ice cream for breakfast if we want. And for 8 hours technically of the day, we get told what we need to do or what we can do and what we can't do. So what do we feel like doing when we're out of that environment? Yes. So there's no that, you know, people go, you know, I like my freedom and I like my, you know, I just want to do what I want to do. There's a reason for that because we are in an environment where we don't feel that we can have those choices and, you know, have the freedom to do what we want to do most of the time. So what do we do about that? Discipline, exactly. Well, discipline is a lot to do with it, but discipline how? So, and then the other thing that I forgot to mention is what else kind of in society tells us what we can and can't do? We're also guided by laws. I want to drive down the freeway at 150k. I want to get there quick. But we don't do that because there's rules and there's laws and there's society that says you act in a certain way and you do. So again, is there any wonder where we've just finally gone, I just want to eat ice cream! And there's no rule against that and there's no law against that or whatever it is. Or I just want to sit on the couch and I don't want to have to do and perform and do things that we want to do. So yes, we do need discipline. Most it's exactly the word being self-discipline. So doing something not because someone told us to, not because someone expects us to, or not because it's the law to do so, but just because, again, so I've thought a lot about this because I'm really about my freedom, but you feed that freedom and you meet that value of freedom by freely choosing to do the disciplined act. So you don't have to. How many people go, I have to eat salad? That limits you from a mindset point of view going, I have to, just another thing I have to do. I apparently have to go to work. I have to abide the speed limit. I have to eat my salad. So another thing to kind of give you that freedom back is I choose to eat the salad. Just making it that free choice rather than a must or a have to. But it does come down to the discipline, however you word it, of eating that salad. So we've got on page 23, self-discipline. And the biggest thing you need to know is self-discipline and also willpower. Well, they are a muscle. Not figure.
Not like field muscle.
No. Figuratively, not literally. So you need to think of them as a muscle. If you want to build a muscle or make a muscle stronger or make it bigger, what do you do to the muscle? You stretch it. You stretch it. Yep, and you work it and make it grow. So how would we stretch and work and make willpower and self-discipline grow? Practice using it. Yeah, so in order, again, muscle dynamics, if I go into the gym and I go, okay, give me the biggest dumbbell that you've got, and I try and do a bicep curl with it, will I be able to pick it up? So will it make my muscle grow? It's going to be useless. That muscle will never grow because I'm not strong enough to even do one rep. Same as if I go into the gym and I get the tiniest dumbbell there is, and it's one, like 0.5 or whatever of a kilo, and I do 100 of these, is my muscle going to grow? No. So that's the same with your willpower and your discipline. Don't, again, and you know how we're trying to choose, should we do a 9-3 or should we do a 10-2? It's going to depend on where you're starting in the gym. So if you're going, oh, okay, I have no discipline, I think Jolene said, I have no willpower. If you have none, then that's you starting at a 0.5. And if you do a 0.5 and it's going to be hard enough to grow the muscle, but not so hard that you can't lift it, therefore not grow the muscle, that's, again, such a unique, individual thing that you need to start with. The other thing you need to realise as a muscle, willpower and self-discipline, this was like the biggest brain for me, is it's finite. It is not, there's not something wrong with you if you don't have enough of it. Like even as a muscle, Phil's got big muscles, the strong men, you know, those strong men competitions that pick up boulders, they have muscles, but they can't do that forever. They can't, you know, it's not like they can just do more and more and more, it's finite. So wherever you're at too with your level of it, you've got to protect it. So I was saying to Amanda, when everyone has seen my diet, it's atrocious, isn't it? Just horrible. All I've eaten today is apple cake, chocolate and a vanilla milkshake. But when I decide to eat non-processed, so therefore radically different to how I normally ingest food, I'm normally in bed by 7 p.m. Why? I got nothing left. I have no battle left. Every bit of my willpower and self-discipline has been exhausted and I have to exit the world and go to bed because if I'm left in the world, I'm about to go grab two litres of ice cream. And I know that about myself, and I know, and I love watching myself, like, because you do go, oh, there's just something wrong with me, I should just have more willpower. No, you grow your willpower and you'll build your willpower and you'll build your self-discipline through these little rocks and these little habits and these little steps that are going to lead to you being radically different in 52 weeks. That's why you can't ride in the evenings, because you're exhausted from, you've used the willpower, yep. No, exactly right. So you have to really think about, you know, when you're scheduling your day and planning your day, knowing that your willpower and your self-discipline are finite. Now, there's other things that can, so knowing that's really finite, if you then say, set the goal to get up at a certain time, and that's your only goal for the day, you're going to use how much willpower, and that's a really hard goal for you to achieve.
Maybe all of it.
Yeah, maybe 80% of it or 100% of it. So therefore, what if you set 7 goals for that day? I'm going to get up early and then I'm going to go for a run, God forbid, and then I'm going to go ride my horse, which normally doesn't happen in the afternoons or whatever, or maybe you're going to go to work. And how much willpower do you use at work? A lot, because you're being told to do things you don't feel like doing. So like, I don't feel like doing that, but I'm going to have to force myself to do it and use my mental strength and my muscle, my mental willpower and discipline muscle to do it. So you come out of work and you've already done, what if there's just none left? So don't be so hard on yourself and be like, oh, and I think that I've been guilty of doing this in goal setting things, going, all right, so you're going to plan this day, you're going to get up at 4 a.m. Then you're going to run, and then you're going to ride, and then you're going to go write a book that you've always going to be writing, and you're just like, I've got nothing left. I used it on getting up. I've got 0.
That's exactly what I find. I lost it to get up.
Use a lot to just get up.
Get through the work day. And when I come home,
Yes,
I couch and eat whatever I want.
absolutely.
I wonder, because I can't.
There's nothing left. And because the muscle, and I'm not saying forever there'll be nothing left. There is, if you keep focusing, make it one of your goals. I'm actually going to increase my discipline and willpower this year in tiny little steps, in tiny little muscle things. You might get to 6:15 and then get to 6:20 or wherever it is. There's also other things you can do in your day that's going to decrease that. So obviously self-discipline, number one, can be increased by less thinking. So I think lots of you have heard of Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule. Okay, there's a 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off, go take action. Now, why does that help, especially when it comes to self-discipline?
It doesn't give you time to think.
Yes. So don't think. Because the minute you start thinking, you then have to require you to use the muscle of, you rationalise, you tell yourself all the stories of why you don't want to get out of bed or why you don't want to run or why you don't want to take an action, and then you've got to use all this willpower to overcome and surpass that mountain. If you're just going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 up, you're still at 100% because you're actually physically out of bed and you're like, how did I get here? Okay, that worked. Now apparently I've got to go for a run. Now there goes the 80% or whatever it is. But that helps. So the more you can do, or if you can just do the running without thinking. Just, I get up, I put my shoes on and I start running, and then halfway down the road you're like, how did I get here? I don't know if I want to run, but I'm running, so yes, I'm doing it. And you haven't had to use the more thinking. And if you sit in bed for 10 minutes, hit the snooze. Sit in bed for 10 minutes, hit the snooze. Oh, you need so much willpower to get up. Cool. Number 2, always linked to a motivating why. Again, so if we use that getting out of bed scenario and we hit the snooze and we talk to ourselves and we hit the snooze and we talk to ourselves, and then suddenly we look at the clock and what do? I'm going to be late for work! And you're out of bed. How did you get out of bed? How did that happen? Motivating why. Either from pain, I don't want to get fired, or pleasure, I love work. Good for you. But whatever it is, that's what got you going. So the more you have this why in all areas and the more motivating it is, do you see that as that goes up, the self-discipline and the willpower goes down? And you're dealing with, think of your willpower as a battery pack. So it's going down throughout the day, and you've got to get through all these things during the day, so you've got to protect it at all costs. You've got to save it. You've got to conserve it. When your phone's on 3% and you're like, okay, flight mode, and I'm not using the camera, and, we'll figure it out until that's what you've got to be with your willpower. Put on having flight mode and go, I've got to get through, I've got 7 things that are going to require that today, and I need to, measure that out and make sure I've got enough for all 7 things. Yep. Number 3, clear goal. Obviously, if we're murky with our goals, and murky, number 1 is a clear plan. Again, you're going to need lots more motivation because you're not quite sure what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're meant to do it. So that's going to require more willpower and require more discipline rather than you just get up and you do it. Yeah? Then make less decisions. This is my favourite. So who knows why? Does everyone know Steve Jobs wore the same clothes? Didn't wear the same jeans, but wore the same clothes. He wore the same jeans and turtleneck, but I hope he had like 10 pairs of each. But why did he do that?
Then he didn't have to think about that.
Didn't have to think. If you think about how many choices and decisions you've had to make before getting to work, what am I going to wear? How am I going to do my hair? What should I have for breakfast? What should I do tonight? It hurts. We've used up 50%. So I don't know if you want to wear the same thing. I wear the same thing when I ride. I don't know, it's just black, and it's very easy when I go shopping. It's just black and gold and a bit of white. And if I like something, I buy 7 pairs of it. And I'm like, this is just what I'm going to wear for the next 2 years. It's just easy. It requires less of my mental energy because this is what was my I didn't realise they were finite. I thought I was a bit of a superwoman, and I was like, my brain just works forever. And I realised, especially with what I feed it, my brain is on very limited resources, and I need to protect them. I can't waste my brain on what I should wear today when I've got to make a decision in my company that could mean thousands of dollars in difference, or, of who I help or don't help. Let's save the energy for those decisions and just go, I'm just wearing this. Or however it is for you. And I'm not saying with clothing, but breakfast. Breakfast can be like a use 20%. So should I have eggs? And I know I should have eggs because that's protein. And then you get all confused about what you should be putting in your body anyway. And you're like, carbs or no carbs, high fat, low fat, gluten-free, non-gluten-free, and it's all too much. So, and a lot of people go, oh, you know, I can never eat the same breakfast, but then they eat Wheat Bix for the next 20 years. So you can eat the same food day in, day out. It's just nutrition. If that's, you know, find something you can stick with, and then you don't need to keep making decisions and choices about it. Yeah. Significance, competition, pride also help with discipline. So I was trying, when I'm writing, whenever the D word comes up, when I say discipline, what image or word or thing comes to your head? The Germans. Cool. This is why we're all so different. A businessman. This is so cool. Yeah, so whatever it is for you. For me, it's an army guy. A big, black, scary lead army man screaming in my face. And I was like, oh, hang on. They're disciplined. But they're disciplined because someone tells them what they should do until they get to the leadership position. Otherwise, there is someone screaming in their face going, you know, you have to do this. And I'm like, so why do they do what they, like, why are they so disciplined? Yes, there's someone yelling at them, but what else? And I was like, oh, it's not actually their why, because if someone says, get up and start marching, they don't know why they're marching, and you know they're not allowed to question orders. Oh, who are we fighting today? The Germans. I like the Germans. Let's not fight them. They didn't get to question anything. They don't get to do anything. They're just told. If they're told to march, they march. If they're told to run, they run. And I was thinking about it, going, okay, well, is it linked to some bigger why? And I think for those people, there's so much pride in being a Marine or whatever it is. And then I was speaking to Phil about why he does certain things, and it did come back to this kind of, for me it's significance, for someone else it's pride, for someone else it's a competition, whatever it is. But if you have, again, and it probably links to the big motivating why, so you're doing it for significance, you're doing it for competition, or you're doing it for pride, that requires then no self-discipline. Because no one F's with your identity. If you can make something your identity, there's no discipline required because it is who you are. If you're a nice person, do you have to set a goal and require a lot of willpower to therefore be nice to someone? You're just a nice person because that's your identity. You're a nice person. If you decide that you're a horrible person and you know, and do horrible things to people, again, you don't need to set goals and require willpower to do that. That's just what happens because you've decided that's your identity. So the more you can make anything that you want to be, do, and have part of your identity, you won't need self-discipline for it. Okay, and then obviously creating unconscious habits. I brought up brushing your teeth. When you have a bad day, you still do it. No one needs to tell you, but probably back when you were a child, I still have to tell my kids to brush their teeth. But eventually it turned into an unconscious habit. Everyone's got a different trigger. Having a shower, seeing the pillow on their bed, finishing dinner, whatever the trigger is, there's something that says, now brush your teeth, and you just go ahead and do that. You don't have emotional thought, you don't need discipline for it, you don't need willpower for it. Have you ever, you know, you've had a horrible day at work and you haven't ridden your horse, you haven't done everything else, that doesn't mean that you don't go brush your teeth. So someone was saying, you know, how long does it take to create a habit? And there's so many people out there, you know, 21 days or whatever. I tend to go with 90 days. You do something for a whole quarter and it should become a lot more unconscious and a lot more not requiring the willpower or the discipline. But as I said before with Phil, if you're doing something for 536 days, that's a habit, yeah? It only took 4 weeks for 500, so 28 days, for 536 days to be extinct. How's that for loving life and feeling great? And, you know, this is where I have to be the bearer of bad news and go, life isn't fair. Because always, that's not fair. That's fucking life. Nothing about life is proportionate. It is all disproportionate. You get a massive reward sometimes from little effort, or you put in huge effort and you get a little reward. That's just life. Don't worry so much about, you know, or arguing about the disproportionate and the unfairness of it. Just deal with it. Yeah? Okay, and then enjoying the benefits. So again, when you do something for 20, 30, 60, 90 days or however long, you'll start to get some benefits. And when we did Phil's running example, it was he was getting, so the first benefit was his back got better. So actually, let me go through, because that's how I kind of developed that. So Phil, the osteo told him, you will never be able to run again. You need surgery on your back, or your back's really bad and you won't be able to run. So he decided to make that mean that he was going to run to show the osteo that that was a lie. So what's that one? If you look on the list of 1 to 8, what's that? Motivating why? And because of the competition and the pride. Clear goal? Yep. And he was like, I'll show him. Okay. Then he decided to set a goal to run 10K. So again, clear goal. Just to go, well, I can't just like run a block. That's not going to show it. Let's make it 10K. Then the plan, for some reason, he decided the plan would be run every day. Now, someone else is going to come up with a different plan and that's fine. Run 3 days, run 4 days, whatever it is. He decided it was run every day because, again, he knew enough to know he didn't want to think about it. He didn't want to have to wake up and go, do I run today or not? Oh, conveniently, today is a non-running day. And you wake up tomorrow, today is also a non-running day. He just wanted to wake up and go. And he knew he wanted it in the morning because same thing. If shit happens during the day, I'll get to the afternoon and put it off, not feel like it, need too much willpower and I won't have enough, all that kind of stuff. So get it done first thing in the morning. So that was the plan. Then obviously the first week, the first 2 weeks, they were the 2 hardest parts of it to execute, to first set the alarm, then get up when the alarm sounds the next morning and put on the clothes in the dark, hear the rain on the roof, still get up and start running. Yeah, but then what happened? After 2 weeks, he started to feel his back get better. So not huge benefits yet. It's not that the back was cured. It's not that he could run 10K. It wasn't that it still wasn't painful to get up in the morning, but there was a little benefit of, oh, my back feels a bit better. So that was enough for him to go into that spiral of, well, my back feels a bit better, so I'm going to keep doing the action. Oh, my back feels a bit better, so I'm going to keep doing the action, and just keep going that way. Then he started to feel good and started telling people, this is now about 90 days, oh yeah, you know, I run every day. When you tell people you run every day, what do people say? Wow, really? That's cool. How do you think he was by like day 400? Like there again, this competition came. When are you going to stop? I can't believe you're doing every day, even New Year's Day, even when you're hungover, even when you're sick, even when you've broken an ankle. Oh my God. So it's like, yeah. And then he was like, I can't stop. And it was almost an addiction to, you know, how many days can I do and how much can I prove and how much can I prove to myself that, you know, I do this, and how much of it was a habit. And the one time he said that he didn't set the alarm, like, because it all starts not in the morning, but the night before. You got to, the night before, put that alarm into your phone and say, okay, this is when I'm getting up. And one time he forgot to do that or something, he woke up 2 hours later and of course did it then, but he was like, oh God, this was so stressful, and it was like, oh my God, and just because the whole pattern didn't go as it should and it wasn't done early enough to, again, you know, make sure the whole day went, and just crazy because it was so rigid and so planned that this is what I do for so many days. Cool. So, how does that help? How are you now going to use that for you?
I love the idea of the less decisions.
Love the idea of less decisions.
I know people that I'm always getting a new this or changing that, or, you know.
In everything, like breakfast, clothes. What else? Because I can only think of breakfast and clothes.
Oh, just where I eat, where I buy.
Yes. So when you go out to dinner,
What
yep.
I wear,
What pizzas should we get?
what I
Yep.
do with my horses.
When you go to the hairdresser, should you cut it? What colour?
I change my haircut every time.
You change your haircut every time.
There's probably nothing that I do that's the same.
Wow. And then do you have high uncertainty? You like the uncertainty? Like, is that why you need the variety? Don't know.
No, my highest are growth and contribution.
Yep.
Then uncertainty. So
Yeah, great. She likes uncertainty. So that's fine. And that is going to be... So now you've got 2 conflicting motivations and personality traits. Love variety. Love everything being different every single day, but using up willpower and decision making like there's no tomorrow. What do we do?
And then
Yes.
So I may as well just pick one thing that I don't like and stick with it.
Yes. So she said, oh, no, I don't like anything. So she tries different things that she doesn't like. So, yeah, just stick with one horrible thing. Yeah, and for variety then, I think you do need to create 2 hours or 3 hours. Like, you've got to be really creative of how you're going to meet your need, because it's a need, not a want. There's 6 needs, and one of them is uncertainty or variety. So she needs to meet that need, and it better be resourcefully or she's going to meet it unresourcefully. But also, we've got no willpower or decision-making left. So, yeah, that's fun. So either you choose like a Saturday afternoon, like also with willpower, like you can just decide Monday to Friday is when I am, you know, there's no decisions to be made, and that's when the willpower is. And then Saturday, Sunday, you know, maybe there's not going to be as many goals and as many things needing, because you're not at work either, needing the willpower, needing the self-discipline, and then you can be just a free-for-all. What are we going to do today? And let's go out for dinner and choose and decide all, you know, make all those decisions and try it that way. I don't know.
I like the less thinking.
You like the less thinking. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And just less thinking about it. Because that's when you all do your fear strategies and you'll do, but what if, and something could happen, and it's just, no, what do I have to do now? Go. And think about, that's what you do at work. You don't have emotions around it. I don't know, I only know how we do work, but I'm assuming you've got some kind of idea of what you need to do in 8 hours of your day. And do you waste an hour? Like if you came in and your boss was like, what have you been doing for the last hour? I've been thinking about and digesting my emotive feelings about how I feel about what I'm about to do. You're fired. Feel that. You don't have the luxury of doing that at work. You just go and do it. So that's how you got to bring in a little bit. But like I said, that still uses willpower and still uses that, oh, okay, I don't get to make those kinds of decisions. So we've got that whole freedom thing going on as well. Cool. So do you have any questions around that? All right, is everyone clear about how they're going to use what they've just learnt? So either, why don't you write just underneath that one of the things you're going to do. So maybe you're going to start wearing the same clothes, or maybe you're going to start just deciding, when we go get pizza, we just get Hawaiian. Like, don't ask me what pizza we want to have, show me the menu. Because what happens? Someone asks you, you look at the menu again, you go, oh, and then what do you get? Hawaiian. And it's the same with ice cream, you know, oh, I could have this flavour, I could have this flavour, I could have this flavour, and then someone goes, next, chocolate. Just, you know, you like chocolate ice cream, that's the ice cream you're going to get. You like Chinese food and you like getting the spring rolls, just get the spring rolls. And then choose maybe days where you then go completely, because everyone should add variety and uncertainty in their lives. So go to the Chinese restaurant and then go, but be ready for it. Don't make it on a day where you have to do everything else. And then go, I'm not allowed to order spring rolls. I'm not allowed to order chocolate ice cream spring rolls and Hawaiian pizza. I'm going to go do something I've never done before and get the whatever one. Yeah? Okay, so yeah, if you can all get clear on one thing that you're going to do next year to either decrease your thinking, increase your why, whatever it is for you. What have you come up with, Amanda?
Use the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get out of bed.
Yep.
I sometimes spend an hour worth of discipline trying to get myself out of bed. Like, it's really
Yep, and that is going...
really bad. It's a really good.
Is this one working, Phil? Because we took the batteries out of the other one. Yep. Okay. That will make a huge, huge difference. Get the Mel Robbins book. Sorry?
Do you need me to say it again?
No. Oh, yes, actually. Yes.
I decided to use them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get out of bed, because sometimes I spend an hour trying to talk myself into getting out of bed. No, I don't feel like it. No, I don't know what I'm going to wear, so I probably should organise my clothes the night before as well.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Just not waste all that time that I could be doing something just arguing
just
amongst
talking about
myself.
it. Exactly, and that wouldn't stand for at work. You couldn't just go, oh, I spent an hour just thinking about doing
Plus
it.
I used 100%. I'm like, just
Yeah,
one
it's
good
all
day, just get
gone.
out of bed.
That's it, and it's actually 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a countdown. Apparently the brain processes that better, but get the book and yeah, that'll be cool. Cool. What else?
Mel Robbins book.
Yes, 5-second rule. Who else wants to share? Who else finished early? Yes.
Mine was clear plan,
write out a weekly meal plan which will help with shopping lists.
Brilliant.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, what am I going to cook? And then what am I going to have to buy at the shops in order to cook it? It's too much.
And then also at the shops, you're not using your discipline to not buy bad things.
And Amanda said you're at the shops and you've used up all your discipline, so you then go to get that stuff and you just come home with burger rings and cookies.
This is preventing that.
Yes, the list prevents that. Very good. But it's so true. I'm glad you're now becoming more aware of why you do what you do because of certain things. Anyone else want to share? Yes.
I suppose I got the evening routine bit you said before, because
Yeah.
then you can make your decisions the night before, and that takes the thinking out of the next day. So you've
Yes.
out your clothes, you've decided what you're going to eat for the day.
Yes.
All those sorts of things when you've got time and you're not under pressure to make poor choices.
Yes, and we talk about it a lot, like I think it's coming up in Goal Mastering when we talk about planning your week and planning your day, because it's so important you plan your day the day before, and you know where every hour is, where every minute is, and where you're doing and what you're doing it. So yeah, that hopefully does leave not the decision. So whenever I get to work, I don't know what I'm doing, and I just flick to the diary and I go, oh, okay, apparently 5 minutes ago I was meant to start this, and then off you go. Georgia knows that all too well. Georgia, you should schedule. It's 10:23. You should not be working on that. You should be working on this. Fabulous. Okay, brilliant. All right, let's turn the page to page 24. So again, we're oscillating between little things that we can do, like lay out our clothes. How is that going to make a difference in our lives? Actually, a huge difference. And then we're going to go again to some kind of radical stuff. So I was thinking it could be cool, I don't know how you guys feel, every quarter to do a 21-day sprint. So that's 21 days of focusing on one thing. Now, when we focus on 3 things, that's good. When we focus on 2 things, that's better. When we focus on 1 thing, that's magic. I think you've heard me say before, I wish I could have more than one number one priority. It'd be nice to have all 10 as number ones, because clearly they would all get number 1 attention and number 1 energy and number 1 everything. But the fact is, not all of those things can. So there's lots of goals that you want to achieve and lots of areas that you want to achieve them, but we now need to get really, really clear and specific and go, well, what is the most important thing? The one thing. And only focus on that and put in actually a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of focus just on this and what we're going to have achieved in 21 days. I got this from reading about a fighter pilot who says it only takes 21 days to learn how to be a fighter pilot. Right, well, that doesn't sound very safe. And it was all about, you know, it's 21 days of only fighter pilot training, and it's 21 days of focus, and it's 21 days of learning not everything you need to know, just what you actually need to know to become a fighter pilot. Do you get there's a difference? And 21 days of only focusing on outcome, which is passing fighter pilot training. So sometimes we get a little bit distracted and we've got these goals and, you know, we've made them yearly goals. You know, just before we were doing 52 steps, 52 ways we can just move one rock every week over to the good side instead of the crap side. So by the time we get to the 52nd week, all our rocks are on the good side and we're doing really, really well. This is, let's just do something awesome and focused and epic for 21 days and really making everything else go into the periphery and only focusing on outcome. Not even goals so much, not even habit, it's outcome. It's making that why so big, it's only 21 days, it's my only focus, it's the only thing I'm doing to get a result in 21 days. How do we feel about that? Yes? We like that. And that's why I'm trying to give you this year, there'll be intense, crazy, just motherfucker make it happen. And then there's how are we moving our rocks one at a time. Nice and slow. Wins the race. Motherfucker! Trying to do that kind of balance. So, yes, to do the 21 days straight, you need to have a really clear outcome goal. And I mean really clear. You need to do that visualization and go, when I have achieved this, I will see this, I will feel this, I will hear this. It needs to be crystal clear. What will you look like, feel like, be doing, whatever it is, after 21 days? This is because most people do, you know, who has a goal in their writing? Like imagine if it was like, oh, I want to write a medium test. Okay, and you're writing novice right now. Oh, okay, well, why don't we set that as a yearly goal and we'll start working on the shoulder in, and then when you have control of the shoulder, or it's just 21 days to write a medium test. What do you do differently? Yeah, just like you share. But it can be done. If it's your only focus, it's the only thing where you're going to put energy in, it's the only we're going to make this happen. It is going to happen. You know, you could book in here and be like, all right, you know, I'm going to ride these horses and I need to fly and change. And like you could write a Grand Prix test here in 21 days. Not that I'm saying come here. I didn't mean it like that. Let's do something else. But you know, there's just a way to make all these things happen because you're so focused, you're so dedicated, you're going to commit that time, that energy, and that, you know, all of our reserves into it. So this guy who did the fighter pilot thing, you know, like he's just crazy. He did 20 days of no eating to get a goal around. I'm not saying do that. But you know, I'm just trying to give you ideas for what you could do for your 21 days. So look at one of your yearly goals and go, can I do it in 21 days? If someone can be a fighter pilot in 21 days, I would think that's like 3 years. Yes.
Is it to the detriment of everything else then? Because what comes into my mind, I go, okay, if I focus on...
Sorry. Oh, you need to check. Is it now on? Okay, then I think the other times it's been off. Yes. Sorry, detriment to anything else.
Yeah, I feel like that it would be to the detriment of everything else. If I decide for 3 weeks I'm going to focus on losing weight, I'm going to exercise in it. I don't want my riding that I've been riding 4 times a week. I don't want to then not ride for the 21.
This is where you would have to check in. It's not saying, when you do fighter pilot training, it's not 16 hours of fighter pilot training, 8 hours of sleep. There is other time. So it's going how much willpower is it going to be, how much energy is it going to be. So it's 2 things. If the 21 days is going to give you the biggest jump start you've ever had, and again, I'm looking at your year and I'm going, you didn't ride for 3 weeks out of 52, but look at the outcome and the result that you then carried on because you did that focus of 3 weeks. Good. If you go, I'll do the focus for 3 weeks, then go back into normal life and then lose what I got in the 21 days, then don't do that for 21 days. You can make it as gentle or as intense as you want. If you just want to go, okay, for 21 days to help you with your habit thing, going, just for 21 days I'm going to get up when the alarm goes off. 22nd day you can do what you want, but for 21 days that might be your 21-day sprint that you kick off with, and then you spend the rest of the quarter maintaining. And then you go, I'm ready for my next, you know, what's going to be the next 21-day thing. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's not all, hey, where's my fighter pilots? It needs to, again, be checking in and be with where you're at.
So you could do a different thing for each quarter?
We're going to choose, I think we're going to choose 4. You don't have to, but I've chosen 4 things. Yeah, so if you turn to page, and then all you need to know is the very first couple of days are really easy because you're all pumped. You're like, I'm doing a 21-day sprint, and I'm like, you know, I'm going to achieve this amazing thing and it's going to be awesome. Because I didn't finish that. So you're going to see, hear and feel achieving your goal. Then you're going to create a plan. So this is where you're going to see if it even fits into your life. And you're going to go, okay, it's going to take 2 hours a day, it's going to take 5 hours a day, it's going to take 8 hours a day, it's going to take 1 hour a day. You know, how will we make this work? And you need to think about what's coming up in those 21 days. So let's say it was, I'm only going to eat unprocessed for 21 days, and then you look at the calendar and you go, oh, but it's my birthday, my husband's birthday, and my children's birthday. Is now going to be the best time to do that. And remember, in previous goal setting, I've been like, you know, it's just going to be hard. And it's now we're just going, you've got a quarter. You've got January the 1st to March the 31st. Somewhere in there, can you give me 21 days of concentrated, real, full-on, this is all I'm doing, and then hopefully carry that through. But it doesn't have to be done on January the 1st, or it doesn't have to be done, you know, on February the 1st. It's just looking at that calendar, looking at where that is and going, where can I really fit this in? But at the same time, also then making it work. Going, okay, yes, I'm going to do this in 21 days, but I do have my husband's birthday, but what I'm going to do about that is, and you already come up in your plan of what you're going to do about it. Cool. And then take the extreme action. This is all little results give little motivation. Big results give a lot more motivation. So these 21 days is hopefully going to give you a massive result, which therefore means you have a massive motivation to continue with it. Yep. So yeah, the first couple of days are easy, and then the rest of the week is going to be the hardest part of the 21 days. That's when you're going to have to dig deep. That's when you have to call your accountability buddies. That's when you have to get on Facebook. That's when you have to complain, whinge, and hate the world, but keep doing it anyway. Yeah, it's hard, it's awful, it's going to be... But then you're going to get through that, and you're going to get into the second week, and you're going to go, holy shit, you're going to start seeing some results, you're going to start seeing some progress, you're going to start actually feeling okay, going, holy shit, I think I'm going to get to this, I'm going to do it. You're going to round out week 2, you're going to get into week 3, and you're going to be like, holy shit, there's only 7 days to go, I can't believe this is amazing, you're going to have a great third week, and then you're going to close that off and obviously then work out what you're going to continue with for the rest of the quarter based on the massive result that you've got in that. Yep. Okay, so what we've got is on page 25, what will your 4 quarterly 21-day sprints be? And therefore, I will achieve, make it very, very clear, by achieving this goal I see, hear and feel this, and to achieve this goal in 21 days, my plan is this. What's wrong?
Nothing.
What's wrong, Charlene?
I just as I'm going, how do I go the goal? Like,
How do you go with the goal?
yeah, your quarterly sprint
Yes.
compared to your goal.
Yes, so let's have a chat. No, this is a really valid question. So you're saying you've got your quarterly goals already?
Well, no, I haven't got my quarterly goals.
You've got your
but
yearly goals?
Got my yearly goals.
Yeah.
And what will your 4 quarterly goals be with your 21-day sprints? That's sort of a bit
What were your 4
overwhelming.
quarterly 21-day sprints? Nothing to do with goals?
Yeah.
So
Sorry, that's a
you
bit
could choose the
overwhelming.
same category and work out 4 things you could do in that category. Let's say if
Okay.
you decided your theme for the year is health, you could go, I'm going to drink water for 2 litres, because that's a big thing. I've never been able to do that before. I'm going to do that for 21 days. And then the second quarter, I'm going to maintain that. And then the second quarter, I'm going to start going to the gym 4 days or whatever it is, or I'm going to go to the gym every day for 21 days and then cut it back to where I want it to be. But obviously, if you went to the gym 21 days and did different muscle groups, you're going to see some strength results and see some muscle development from that. Your third quarter might be to change your lunch to a salad, and your 4th quarter might be to cut out all sugar or something like that, just for 21 days.
If you're sort of doing those things already.
Yeah, then you're not going to choose them. But then you might choose, then you might go, well, out of everything I want to achieve in my year, the top 4 things was health, horse, business and relationship, and choose a sprint in each of them.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you. It's just basically start thinking again, what's most important for me to achieve in the next 12 months?
Yeah.
What would be the top 4 things that I would just be thrilled with myself that I got a result in and maintained the result? And that's what you're going to focus on.
Okay.
And it might not be, I keep saying maintain a result, but you become a fighter pilot. Well, yeah, just then keep staying a fighter pilot. So it doesn't have to be a health goal. I'm drinking 2 litres of water and then I continue to drink. They're the kind of 2 types. It might just be, no, I'm going to go ride a Grand Prix test, or I'm going to, I've always said that I'll invest in shares, and I've always said I'll look at the stock market. It's like, no, I will have invested $5,000 in the stock market in the next 21 days, and I'm going to research the stock market 2 hours a day, every day, blah, 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 to do that. If it was a financial one, or, yeah. Cool. Phil, can you do aircon, please? Yes. Did you have a question? No? We're all good? Catherine? Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so talk about it with your buddies. See if you need help analysing. I'm around. Okay. So how was that? What did we learn? What did we notice? What do we want to share? Georgia.
A lot of them, by achieving this goal I see here, Phil, was confidence and pride.
Yeah.
And one of them was feel more energized. Well, I will be more energized and more open-minded. So, I'm a very proud person.
But did you also say what you would see? You also, like, you didn't just put feelings.
Yeah, just put feelings.
Okay, so you also want to know what you see. So give me one of your sprints.
Daily training with Rosie.
So for 21 days, you're going to train with the horse for
21 days.
Yeah. Okay. So what will you see? What will Rosie look like? What will you look like? What will the relationship look like? Not about how you'll feel, but what will it
Less
look like?
two-minded.
Yeah.
It'll look less two-minded. It'll look. She'll be more confident. She won't be in my space. Like, yeah.
Yep. And when you're describing that to me, can you see her?
Yeah.
Or are you just imagining?
Staring at you? No. No, I'm seeing her. Yeah.
And you're seeing her being away
Seeing
from
her.
your space.
Yeah.
Good.
In the outdoor arena, doing a lunge. Like,
Good.
Going into the float.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you're crystal clear.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Who else wants to share? You look like you guys were having a good conversation.
So one of mine was drink a litre of water every day for 21 days.
For 21 days, yeah.
I will achieve better health, clearer skin, better digestion. By achieving this goal, I will
What
be,
will that feel like?
be awesome. Be just feel
How
healthier,
does awesome feel like?
healthy?
And what does healthy feel like?
I have no idea. I've never been that healthy before.
I was going to say, we don't have much reference points here, so we need to make that feeling bigger, like make it up. Oh, I'm going to feel like I'm on a Eveready bunny or whatever it is,
Yes,
but
oh,
just,
Yeah, got to be more energised, less thirsty, hungry, and I'll have clearer skin. Like
yeah, and you can see what your skin will look like. Yeah, and you can hear the compliments that people are telling you. Very good. Cool. Anyone else want to share? Yeah.
I'll do my charities one.
Yeah.
So one of my quarterly 21-day sprints will be to donate to 21 charities for 21 days. So I will do that every day. I'll go onto the computer and I will donate $20, that's my amount, to a charity that I find on the computer.
Cool.
And that will make
So the
me-
plan
yeah.
is turn on computer.
Yep.
Step 2, Google. What are you going to Google?
I'll start with orangutans.
Cool. You're just going to Google
Yep.
helping orangutans,
Yep.
see what comes up,
Yep.
and put in your
Donate.
credit card details, $20, and off you go. And then
Yep.
repeat. But what are you going to,
Tomorrow.
have you typed it? What are you going to type in on the second day?
Probably Fred Hollow's eyes.
Cool. So you kind of know.
I kind of know.
Yeah, what you're going to, and
Yeah.
like you might get
Yeah.
to day 17 and then be like, what charities need help? Oh yes, I forgot
Polar
about the
bears.
Brumbies. Charities that help Brumbies and
Yeah,
polar
yeah,
bears.
yeah, yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Cool, love it. All right, any questions? Is this exciting? Is this scary? Is this useful? Are you sure I'm not confusing you going, go little rocks and just think of the little steps, the little daily actions that you can do every day, just drip feed it, and now go really, really nuts for 21 days?
Yeah, it can be a little goal. It can be a little.
Yes, separate
It can
things.
be a little rock every day for 21 days.
Yes, it can also be a little rock, but that little rock has been the biggest boulder in your existence. It might be a little rock for everyone else, but it literally will be moving big boulders every day for 21 days for you. Yeah, perfect. Cool. All right, let's just have a quick break and come back at 3:15.